Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Blackgirlmarvel, back for day 27 of my 31 days of reviews featuring Terminator 6 Dark Fate. As always, this will be spoiled because the movie is out there. It's been out since like 2019, so go check it. And if you made it this far to my video, please hit a like and comment below. If you have not seen Terminator, go watch it and then come back to me and let's get into it. So Terminator Dark Fate essentially takes place after Judgment Day. So films 3, 4, and 5 at this point do not matter. It goes 1, 2, and then to 6. Terminator Dark Fate, for me, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I thought that the plot did have some holes in it, if we can call a spade a spade. But for the most part, for me, this film was great. It had some good characters, some nice developments. It did go through like an ABC type of like storyline, which sometimes isn't really all that bad. You kind of know what to expect, but sometimes they'll throw in some stuff that you didn't expect. So in this film, we got Arnold Schwarzenegger back. We got Linda Hamilton back. We see in this timeline that after they prevented Judgment Day in the second film, Sarah and John were in Mexico, I believe. And while in Mexico, a Terminator that looks dangerously like Arnold Schwarzenegger, with an outdated mandate to kill John Connor, kills John as like from what they showed in the film, he couldn't have been no more than like maybe a year or 2 years older after we see him in just kills John. And after this, Sarah is just guilt-ridden and she doesn't really know what to do with her life, and she just drinks, and somewhere somebody started sending her encrypted text messages to sending her to locations where Terminators have been appearing year after year, seemingly is what I'm trying to seemingly possibly getting to the character, like the main character of this film. So we meet a character named Danny, and we see that she runs her household, with her dad and her brother. We don't really know where her mom is, but I'm gonna assume that her mom has passed away, and she kind of become like the head of the household. Like even her father says like, you're the boss, because she makes sure that everybody gets up on time and has breakfast and eats, and also gets herself together so her and her brother can go to work. And we just talked about this on my podcast, The Real Study, so go check us out on YouTube, REEL Study. And I didn't bring up this point, but I probably should have, but I just remembered it right now. Danny works in a factory full of machines, and we don't really get to see what she does. But it would have been cool because Danny in this timeline becomes the new John Connor. She becomes the leader of the resistance. But it would be real cool if like her being the leader of resistance is because she works in this factory. She knows machines really well, so it was easy for her to adapt to this new world and to like learn how to like hack and understand these like machines. That would have been a nice little twist like added in to show that she had some skills other than being very, I guess, motivational is the word I was looking for. She's very motivational, and sometimes I feel like you need more than just motivation to be a leader, but who am I? Ain't nobody. So as the film is going on, two Terminators drop up, but one is not essentially a Terminator. It's a augmented human. So it's a human that went through a procedure to pretty much get like Terminator-like parts put in their body, but they're essentially still human. And then you have the Rev 9, which in this world, it's not Skynet that's taken over the world. It's a brand called Legion that has hacked into all of the internet and electricity and has made the world a barren wasteland, which if you really think, we're not that far from that future. And that's scary. So during this time, the augmented human Grace comes back to save Danny, where the Rev 9 is coming to kill her, and all hell breaks loose. Sarah Connor shows up and saves them, but because she avoided Judgment Day, this new future does not know who she or John is, and Danny is the leader of this new resistance. And obviously, if these events didn't happen in this film, she would not be the leader, but I digress. Overall, for me personally, this was a great film. This was like a nice, fun, actiony film. The actress that played Grace, her action films were amazing. The way that things were shot, the choreography was great. It was just great seeing little Linda Hamilton with a shotgun in her hand. It just felt like home, It felt great. I felt all warm and snuggled up. Arnold Schwarzenegger in this one plays a very different Terminator than we've seen him play previously. Mind you, every time Schwarzenegger pops up in these films, he never plays the same Terminator unless he's playing the same Terminator, but you know what I'm. In this one, he plays a Terminator called Carl. He's the Terminator that killed John. what's her name, when Sarah and John were in Mexico, after he killed John, his mission was over and he didn't know what to do with himself, so he pretty much augmented to a human life and gained a conscience and kind of like advanced himself into the sense of understanding humans, understanding what he took from Sarah, and he's been the person that's been sending her coordinates to go take out these other Terminators to give her some purpose, because he knew he took that away from her. Throughout this film, you see Sarah grow and get back into her purpose and why she's here. You get to see Danny grow as a character. Grace is pretty much a well-known character. Her mission is to protect Danny because Danny protected her in the future when she was a kid. And mind you, Danny only did that. Well, I'm not saying she only did it because she knew who Grace was before Grace knew who she was. Because I'm assuming that, Danny she's this leader of this resistance. Of course she's going to help anybody that's like getting jumped by people in this wasteland of a world. But also she saved her because she knew who she was. You know what I mean? And she knew who she would be for her in her past. She would be the person that protected her. So she made sure that I think she had been watching her. She's going to be watching her her entire life, because when her and Sarah drive off at the end, they like kind of pop in on Grace and her family at the park. And here, like I said, this was a fun ride. To me, this is an easy watch. If you watch the first one and the second one and then watch this one, it's pretty much a through line. And it's kind of like if you watch 3, 4, and 5, those are like a through line. And if you watch like, maybe like, yeah, like 3, I think it goes 1, 2, 6, 3, 4, 5. Like 3, 4, 5 are like a saga of itself, and then 1, 2, 6 is like a saga of itself. So overall, I enjoyed the Terminator series. I mean, I've only seen the second one a billion times, and that was the one that kind of stuck with me. But all of them have been pretty good, if I'm calling a spade. But Dark Fate was loads of fun, and I recommend it to, especially if you're not going to get bogged down by like the minutia of the Terminator like lore and all that kind of stuff. If you just want to watch like a fun film where like it's action and sci-fi, and do it. This is a good film for that. But as always, if you made it this far in the film, please, this far in the film, if you made it this far in my review, please hit the heart, drop a comment, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.